All right. So this is an overview of my of Huginn, my Nerf Raven blaster. This is one of my longest term projects. I got this blaster. I got the shell for this blaster 2 years ago. I traded it for parts. It came with basically nothing in it except for these the trigger, the rev trigger, and the pusher system, and the two halves of the shell. No screws, no flywheel cage. It had the remains of a very poorly done modification that doesn't matter. It's mine now. I'm gonna make it cool. So what did I do with this? The first thing that people will notice is the handguard and the stock extension. These are a worker. It's a worker body kit, and there's two reasons I have it. First reason in the back is to put a solenoid in it. Yes, this is has a flywheel to world solenoid. I need the extra space in the back for that to fit that solenoid in, and it just barely squeaks in there. The other reason is for a big old battery, because having a solenoid and two high performance motors in here means it chews through a lot of battery, especially if it's for a long event like HVZ or a long day-long war. I have a 1800 milliamp hour 3S LiPo in the front. It does have exposed wiring in the front. I'm making a printed cap to cover all of this to make it nice and safe. It's up here for one, space reasons, and two, balance reasons. This Raven balances right around the flywheel cage, which is just behind the like probably 2 inches behind the grip, and it makes it very, very comfortable. It can be used one-handed very easily, and that's ideal for things like HVZ. The Raven makes a very good HVZ platform because one, it's compact. You can sort of hug it into your arm with your stock, and you can have it at your side to be sneaky at night, trying to avoid zombies. It means you can run really quickly with it like this, kind of hugging it in, and it gives you one hand free to use socks, which you can store in the carry handle. I am a very large person, so having the extra bulk to sort of get like a really good sort of fighting hold of it is very nice. So what's going on inside? I have 3S LiPo up front. That runs back into this area where there is a sort of a wire harness that feeds the rest of the blaster. It is very modular inside. Everything's connected with XT60s, so I can swap parts out if I need different performance levels, or if they break. That happens a lot because this is a prototype thing, and yeah, that just happens. Or if I need to change something. So what does that harness look like? It has 3 main connections. One to the flywheel cage, which is modular. It's not quite as modular as I want. I have to undo the shell and everything and undo screws to take it out, but it's just one plug. I can just unplug it, pop it out, pop in a different flywheel cage if I want to. For like right now, it's set up for HVZ. I'm building a cage for very high performance levels, like I'm aiming for upwards of 170 FPS for use in like the Foam Pro Tour. The second connection for that harness is to the solenoid. The solenoid connection is it runs through a swilled MOSFET board. it is and that is set up so that it goes to the main switch here. Ideally, in addition to the swivel board, I got the PWM module that he also has for the MOSFET board, which is it's a device that will control the MOSFETs, enabling a select fire system for solenoids or pushers or whatever. Unfortunately, that module burnt out, so it's just running on a semi-auto setup. For that full auto aspirations, I have a selector switch up here, so it's a three position switch. So it would be semi is in the back, safe is in the middle, and full auto is in the front. Swivel boards are out of production now, so I haven't been able to find somebody who has an extra one, because everybody really likes them, and nobody's making them because they're, I don't know, they're tiny little compact things, and they're great for this sort of application. But I guess it's an Arduino product space now. And the third, all right, so going back to the wire harness, the third connection is going to a voltage meter, which is built into the side here, which comes out. This is just a printed battery door. This is the old Raven battery compartment, but in here I have a button that lights up a voltmeter, and also a potentiometer, which would be used for tuning the PWM module, but that's broken right now, so there's not much I can do about it. And that just goes in with like a little thumb screw. I also usually have a LiPo alarm up here, sitting on the table over there. For the handguard, the original sort of system just attaches with, it just slides onto the front nut, the front mounting lug, end strike lug. Because this handguard was not designed for holding in a 3S, so I dremeled out that area, which led to a lot of wobbliness up front. This wasn't very secure when I first put that sort of system together. So to strengthen it, I used the side rail space that comes with a Raven, connected it up with screws to the front with a big old Picatinny rail. This, I could put stuff on here, but I don't. It's for structural rigidity of the front foregrip. Same thing with the top. This rail is mainly here to just keep everything nice and rigid. I also have an RMR on it, and for the HVC setup I have now, it's mainly for show, but it's fun to use. Other things, I have a flared magwell, just because the original Raven didn't have a magwell insert piece, and I decided I needed one because the mags were floppy without it. I also have a printed magazine release. Inside this is broken, so I have a rubber band holding it, giving it more attention to actually hold magazines strongly. And finally, I have a sling. It's just like it's just a cloth belt, the loop belt that I slipped through the back and tied in a knot up front. I'm working on a more elegant sling setup, but it works. And finally, I'm going to figure out where I put my mag. There it is. Make sure that's seated correctly, because that's something that I'm working on. And then yeah, the current setup is two knockoff Nerf 18 dart mags, but I'm going to get 2 curved Worker 22 full-length magazines because this thing with the solenoid chews through darts like nothing else in terms of rate of fire. So let's let her rip. And yeah, this is Huginn, my Raven. Hope you liked it.